A lot of people, of course, get more excited to watch the commercials than they do the game itself. So on this morning, after the morning after, it makes sense to break down which ones got it right and which ones missed the mark. So John Tomque from Off Madison is here this morning with the winners and the losers. John, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
In general, I thought that this year's commercials weren't as memorable as years past.
Yeah, it seemed as though previously there was a real push to make this as exciting as possible.
Right.
This is a little bit flat, and I think it's also reflective of where things are going now. Social media is playing much more of a big role, and there's less emphasis in terms of the big game.
That's pretty interesting, considering they still pay the big prices
They do.
for them. Okay, here are your top picks. First of all, the Volkswagen Wings one. What'd you like about that one?
The thing that was interesting about this was that it's talking about reliability, and a lot of car makers talk about reliability. They showed it, and they showed it in an unusual way. The idea that a German engineer gets his wings when the car hits 100,000 miles, and all you see are wings popping up everywhere.
Yeah, in the way of everything. Then your next one was the Make Love Not War Axe.
I think one of the things that's interesting about Axe is that it's really polarizing. The challenge here is that they took their brand and elevated it, really changed the perception of what was happening with the idea that these dictators can be human people too.
The other one I really agree with you on, the T-Mobile Tim Tebow. I thought that was really smart how they did that.
They really took the celebrity endorsement and elevated it a level, made him fun, made him believable, and even if you were a Tebow hater in the past, you couldn't help but like it.
Yeah, I love the whole contract thing. That was pretty cool. The losers, the worst ones you thought, GoDaddy, the bodybuilder. I agree. I didn't really get that.
Yeah, GoDaddy has a long way to go. They do terrible ads, and typically they're sexist. This time they flipped it to the other side and made it beefcake-centric.
Right.
But it wasn't like the David Beckham ad, which was a little bit more sexy. This one was just garish.
You like that David Beckham one, huh?
I have to say yes.
Jaguar, the British villains.
This was a really strange kind of a head-scratcher. Basically, it says, buy a Jaguar and you could work toward global domination and be a villain. Being bad was something that was good in this instance. The production values were great. It just was a poor execution.
The other one you didn't like was the CarMax one.
Yeah, they took this idea from the 80s teen movies of the slow clap. The problem is people don't remember the teen movies from the 80s, so a lot of people kind of left the idea of why are we doing this and why is it carrying on so long.
I wanted to ask you about the Budweiser ads. The one with the dog was so cute, and then the Welcome Home Soldier. I thought that was fabulous.
They were great. They didn't break any new ground for Budweiser, though, and I think that's the challenge. When you're looking at this massive audience of 115 million people, you have to do something that's different and original.
Right. What do you think happens the day after at these advertising companies? Do they sit down and say, oh, that was a bad idea you came up with?
I think they kind of wipe their brow and move on.
You think? All right. John, thank you. We appreciate your insight into it. It's always fun talking to you about this stuff.
Thank you.